So this is a couple days old, I think, 2, 3, something like that. But it's I like to cover whatever it was in the news since the last office hours. She's saying they got her because it had to be a woman to do the novelization for Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker, quote unquote Star Wars, because we couldn't have a man write a book that had a woman lead. We can't do that anymore, apparently. And she has gotten some heat on Twitter for saying that Rey is the first female Jedi. So that was the first thing she said. How amazing it was seeing Rey, because the first female Jedi. Well, then everybody, of course, points out how much of an idiotic statement that is. There have been wonderful female Jedi, both in what Disney even anyway still considers canon with Ahsoka and stuff like that. But certainly the EU has been just loaded with from the very beginning. You've got Shea Coda and Lannery Brock in the Dawn of the Jedi. You've got Nomi Sunrider, you've got Bastila Shan, you've got all these great, all up to Mara Jade, as you said, and even Ahsoka and all these wonderful people. Leia herself becomes a Jedi. You've got Janna and Jason Solo. It's just so that everybody was pointing out how much of an idiotic statement that was. Well, of course, her first knee-jerk defense is, guys, you can't pull out a bunch of this stuff. I'm talking about a Jedi that's ever had her, been the focus of a movie and on screen. And so now there are all these stipulations. So now it needs to be the one on screen and the main focus, the main star of a movie. Well, that's stupid to even say that has to be done. If you take Star Wars and what we had thus far, we had the prequel, the original trilogy, in which 3 main characters, Luke, Leia, and Han, and Luke was the only Jedi of those main characters for that original trilogy, but Leia was a huge character. She was main just as any other of them, the 3 there. But no, we need a female Jedi. Well, then you have the prequel trilogy, which is Anakin's story as mirrors Luke's. So that's, you can't just shoehorn a powerful female Jedi into that. That's bad storytelling. I think the idea that now the first thing we need to do is to make sure whatever we do, and this was Kathleen Kennedy's only direction again to J.J. Abrams for Force Awakens, make the lead a female. The lead has to be a female. And the idea that she thinks it's okay to disregard all of these amazingly strong female Jedis that we've had throughout the EU. She thinks it's okay. That's no big deal that we just utterly wiped them across the board and created this little Mary Flake Sue, crappy character of Rey. And no, it's legit, and this is completely defensible because now we have a female Jedi, a woman Jedi. No, it's wrong on so many levels. If that's really what you just needed, you needed to have, for some reason, to make Star Wars legit for some bullshit reason. If you just needed to have a woman to be the lead in the movie and also be a Jedi for some nonsense reason, then you've got a wealth of characters to pull from that people already love that are so well written and so 3-dimensional. And just to turn around and say, well, it doesn't matter because we got Mary Sue Rey, and that's why everybody should just accept her. It's this is the kind of ththings that people think when they're subscribed to that kind of agenda and push it over storytelling. And there's been some other news coming out about how the novelization, it clears this up in the movie. Well, that still doesn't do anything for the movie, and it doesn't clear anything up, but make it even more twisted and ridiculous. People who try to defend this movie, I'm sorry, but people always get on me saying, Professor, people can have opinions. Yes. People can have any opinion they want. I can't get into their head and stop them from having opinions. What do you think? But you know what? I can think their opinions are stupid. That's my opinion of their opinion. And if you like this movie, if you're one of the imbeciles trying to defend this as high art and wonderful storytelling, now you can enjoy it. You can just enjoy it. That's your taste. There's no accounting for taste, but whatever. You're not making an argument. You're saying, I like that. Well, there's no arguing that. You liked it or you didn't. But this was horrible storytelling, horrible filmmaking. It was maybe interesting crisis control if you look at it from Abrams coming back to after Ruin Johnson's nonsense on there. But this was not a good movie. There's no defending it. I don't care how bold this woman, this person, this Jedi with a vagina was. That doesn't save it. That doesn't make it anything worth defending.
What I thought was even funnier about this article is her response is, look at all these white men coming back and saying, look at all these women, that were Jedi, these minor characters who, were completely inconsequential, then were killed horribly. And then the response is a black woman saying, hello.
Exactly.
I'm not a white male.
Exactly. And
because,
the idea too,
let's face it, there are women who are going, why has there not been any talk of a Ahsoka Tano film?
Mm-hmm.
She at least has a character arc. She's actually had development. Mm-hmm. She wasn't, born godlike yesterday.
And if you really want to go into the intersectional feminist way of thinking, which is what these people are working from, how dare them put a white woman in this role? You don't think we can get more progressive than that? She should have been transgendered Latina Arab or whatever. That's just,
she had some kind of handicap too, though.
I know it's just utterly ridiculous, the nonsense that they think that they can get away with, and they can't. I mean, people are just calling them out on this, and that infuriates them. How dare people not get in line and think the things we want them to think? I agree with you. No one should personally attack her for this. But here's the problem. This is not just a woman sitting in a theater who had this experience. This is a woman hired to write the novelization of the movie. So she's one of the storytellers now. She's officially now one of the gatekeepers, are guardians of this American folklore, who, like everybody else that Disney hires, is just dropping the ball royalty. So the problem is, and again, she shouldn't be personally attacked for this, but she absolutely needs to be called out on it, because we can't allow this narrative to take hold. And it seems like it doesn't matter how much noise we make about this. Like when people say, finally, Captain Marvel, we've got a real female superhero movie. And everybody was saying, hello. And it's just like listing all the superhero, superwomen movies we've had. So we constantly need to call this out every time they say this, out of ignorance or out of whatever, because otherwise the narrative takes hold, and then they win. They get it's a subtle thing, but then suddenly, if that narrative takes hold, then in order to be recognized as a female Jedi or as the first female hero film or whatever, not only do you have to be female, but you also have to espouse X, Y, and Z values and not do X, Y, and Z and adhere to the woke agenda and everything. That's the problem with and why it needs to be pointed out.
Well, and I think I just wanted to follow up on what he was saying, and it's also really sad because you can, and we've been saying this on your channel all the time. You can write a story that kind of pushes an agenda, but if you're a good writer, you do it in such a way that people, look forward to the trip and go, yeah, and it gets people thinking. When you do it by hitting people over the head, you're not scoring any points for your argument. You're pushing people away.
And she should, if she had just said, yeah, but I just want to say I just really enjoyed that one moment in that one film. I'll respect everybody else, but I personally enjoyed that one moment. And if she had just left it at that, she'd have been okay. But she did the whole thing. Look at all these white men doing, and that's where she lost it.
Yeah. She definitely shouldn't have.
That was the mistake.
Shouldn't have gotten defensive, but she shouldn't have shifted the argument. Shouldn't have, because you're right with the white. Look at all the white men. That's the offensive part. But then she also shifted the argument. So now suddenly she's just saying that that it's a woman on screen in her own movie, big screen, by the way. And of course that doesn't account for Ahsoka Tano was on the big screen with the Clone Wars film. Does she not realize that? So she's changing the argument and trying to add more layers and add more stipulations to try and moving the goalpost. Thank you. I couldn't remember that term. Thank you. That was the problem. And we'll just wrap this up. In doing that, in moving the goalpost, she's trying to say, or tacitly anyway, trying to push for, this was the only way we could have had this, by having Mary Rae Sue, and not writing the others.
The problem with those kinds of arguments, and you were starting to get at it, is exactly that. You take it from being a philosophical point about a story, and now you make it about you people, white males. And as soon as you do that, first, you've now alienated all the white males. So they're done. They walk away. But you also alienate all the people who aren't white males going, wait a minute, I'm not a white male, and I'm saying this.
Yeah.
So you're lumping me in with them? Okay, screw you. So now you've lost that black woman who was going, wait a minute, I'm waiting on I like Ahsoka Tano, and you forgot about her. And you're calling me a white male? Excuse me?